Talk about the battle for voting rights in D.C. First of all, Majority Leader Chuck Schumer says that he is going to bring to a vote tomorrow the Freedom to Vote Act. But GOP leaders are making it clear they're going to filibuster. The Freedom to Vote Act would enact the following provisions: make Election Day a public holiday, require same-day registration at all polling locations by 2024, ensure at least 2 weeks of early voting for all federal elections, protects election officials from undue interference, allows voters to present a broad set of ID cards for in-person voting, also bans partisan gerrymandering. Now, today, several human rights groups protested in front of the White House demanding passage of the sweeping voting legislation. Press Secretary Jen Psaki said the president has measures in place to push forward the landmark bill.
The president called both Senators Warnock and Padilla yesterday to convey his commitment to getting must-pass legislation through that will protect Americans' constitutional rights from the systematic assault that Republicans have been mounting in state legislatures across the country based on the big lie.
All right, folks, joining me right now are two of the folks who participated in today's protest. Pastor of New Birth Missionary Baptist Church, Senior Pastor, Reverend Jamal Bryant. Also, Pennsylvania House Democratic Leader, Representative Joanna McClinton of Philadelphia. Glad to have both of you with us. Pastor Bryant, I want to start with you. Look, we've seen all of this. We've seen protests. We've seen people go to jail demanding this. The question still is, will you have the Democrats? Are they going to vote to end the filibuster? At the end of the day, you don't have 10 Republicans who are going to support this. You have to end the filibuster in order for this bill to pass. Jamal, can you hear me?
I can hear you now, sir.
Let's go. Okay, all right then. So, like I said, look, you got to have Democrats who in the filibuster. You're not going to have 10 Republicans who are going to vote to pass this bill. So the only way this thing moves forward is if Democrats in the filibuster.
No, absolutely right. I came from Georgia, Roland, because Georgia showed the whole country the power of democracy and the power of our vote. By flipping the state. The reality is that millennials are solely responsible for changing the game and the narrative. And so we need both sides of the aisle to be held accountable and responsible. We were arrested outside of the White House today as a reminder to Joe Biden that he wouldn't have that place of residence if it were not for the black vote and all the more black young people who are voting. So I left out of being arrested today to come stand with these activists at Howard University tonight.
Let's now go to, of course, Leader McClinton. Again, the issue that we are facing right now is you have to get Arizona Senator Kristen Sinema, West Virginia Senator Joe Manchin to move on this. They've indicated they're not going to end the filibuster. So is tomorrow an exercise in futility?
Tomorrow is definitely not an exercise of futility. If we have people protesting, marching, reminding President Biden how he got there last November, we're going to see some change. It is time to get rid of the filibuster. People all across America need to be able to vote without the threat of more voting disenfranchisement laws coming to pass.
So, all right, vote takes tomorrow. Let's say it fails. What's next?
If it fails, they need to go ahead and move on the John Lewis Act. That was sent to the Senate some time ago, and there's been no movement whatsoever.
Pastor Bryant, but here's the deal, though. Even if you talk about moving on the John Lewis Act, you still don't have 60 votes for that. I mean, again, we can go back and forth on this. You have to have 60 votes if Democrats do not end the filibuster. So where are we going to be this time tomorrow night if they take a vote and then let's say it fails if they fail to end the filibuster? Okay, what's next?
But then we go back and strategize. John Lewis was clear. He said in no uncertain terms that the vote is the most powerful nonviolent weapon that we have. So we're going to have to use it. It was a great activist that says we don't have permanent friends, we have permanent interests. And if the Democratic Party shows that they are not going to stand by the best interests of the marginalized and the oppressed, it's time for us to really reevaluate our priorities as we go into this midterm election cycle.
Again, what we're seeing is Senator Chuck Schumer say they're going to move on this, but there's no indication that there are 10 Republicans who are going to vote. Are you concerned, Leader McClinton, that if Democrats do not get this done, that black voters are going to stay home in 2022 and say, we gave you the majority, we gave you the House, we gave you the Senate, we gave you the White House, and didn't do a damn thing with it?
It's not so much about voters staying home. It's about them thinking that while we have the opportunity to do good, we rather say, oh, we can't get enough votes and shrug our shoulders and say there's nothing to accomplish. I'm reminded of the words of Congressman Lewis. Where's the good trouble? Where are our leaders in Congress getting into good trouble when we need them to protect the voting rights of people all across our country? What are they doing about it? And how can they keep the people who came out in droves just last year excited about the opportunity to participate and choose leaders who will be active?
To that point, Pastor Bryant, that is a concern, that if you do not see action on the part of Democrats, black voters and others will say, hey, why should I give you more votes? Why should I put more Democrats in power if you didn't use the power that we already gave you?
That is a real concern, Roland. What a lot of people don't know is that we had in Georgia, more people came out to vote for the special election in January than came for the presidential election in November. And those are young people who were giving democracy a chance and an opportunity, and we can't fail. Reverend Jesse Jackson used to always say, there's never been a battle we fought that we showed up to. This cannot be the exception for that. We've got to show up and we've got to keep swinging. This is not going to be a knockout, but it is a major punch.
Back to that Roland Martin unfiltered video in just one moment.
Betty is saving big holiday shopping at Amazon. So now, she's free to become Bear Hug Betty. Settle in, kids. You'll be there a while. Ooh, where you going?
Time to be smart.
Roland Martin's doing this every day.
Oh, no punches!
Thank you, Roland Martin, for always giving voice to the issues.
Look for Roland Martin in the whirlwind, to quote Marcus Garvey again.
The video looks phenomenal, so I'm really excited to see it on my big screen.
Support this man, Black Media. He makes sure that our stories are told.
See, there's a difference between Black Star Network and Black-owned media and something like CNN.
I got to defer to the brilliance of Dr. Carr and to the brilliance of the Black Star Network.
I am rolling with Roland all the way.
Honored to be on a show that you own. A black man owns the show.
Folks, Black Star Network is here.
I'm real revolutionary right now. Roland was amazing on there.
Stay black. I love y'all.
I can't commend you enough about this platform that you've created for us to be able to share who we are, what we're doing in the world, and the impact that we're having.
Let's be smart. Bring your eyeballs home.
You can't be black-owned media and be scared. You dig?